That's what we've been waiting for!
It's what we wanted all along!
Hi, it's Allie. Welcome back to my channel. We're doing something a little bit different. It's a different angle, I know. Mostly it's a different angle because I didn't feel like setting up the lights in my room, like turning on the lights and then turning on the ring light and stuff. I didn't feel like doing that. And the only way to get good lighting, like this lighting is amazing, and it's this angle is the back of my desk, which you usually see is the front of my no, this is the front of my desk. What you usually see is behind me is like my TV and like my wall and stuff like that. I actually really like this angle because I really like the natural light. You know, we'll try it out for now. But I wanted to come to you today because I wanted to talk about this thing I've been watching, The Witcher 2 season 2. And I haven't been really feeling well lately. I got my booster shot, and you know, it's the time of the month. So I was cooped up, and I decided to watch The Witcher season 2. Best decision I ever made. Best decision I ever made. So I'm just gonna talk about that. I'm gonna talk about my feelings. Kind of like a little review, a little off the cuff review. I wrote down some notes, and I just want to talk about it today. Let me know if you like this angle better, if you think the lighting is better. I actually do think the lighting is better. I like natural lighting. I hate having to like do all that, but we'll see. I also want to talk about my content going forward, but that'll be at the end of the video. So subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Leave a like. The like really helps. If you see me like on social media being like, leave a like on my video, it's just because it helps the algorithm. It helps other people recommend my videos to other people, so leaving a like really helps, and so does commenting. I also want to talk to y'all, so comment. Yeah. Anyway, let's talk about The Witcher season 2. So I feel like I should mention first, high fantasy usually goes right over my head. I am not the high fantasy girl. I tried getting into like Game of Thrones when the last season came out, like the final season. I tried watching it because I had, what was it on? HBO? I don't know what the fuck it was on. I tried watching it. I got all the way up to actually the last episode of the first season, and I didn't watch that episode, and I never watched any other thing. I just couldn't. It was very, very hard to get into, and I feel that way about most high fantasy things. That's why I'm more of like a modern fantasy type of person. Like something like Percy Jackson really kind of grips me because of that modern twist on fantasy aspects. So there's like Lore Olympus, stuff like that. So The Witcher like was kind of out of left field for me to get into because high fantasy over my head. It just goes like over my head usually. And The Witcher, it obviously, like many people, I got into it because of Henry Cavill.
The flavors are melting on my tongue!
I didn't play the games. I didn't read the books. So understand all this is purely based off of the show. It's based off of the show, not anything else. It's not based off of the books or I'm talking about like my review is not based off of those things, so please do not think that. But yeah, so getting into The Witcher, I got into it because of Henry Cavill. So I'm very happy that they kind of modernized it in a way. Not completely, but like the way that they talk is a lot more modern than like in Game of Thrones or Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit, blah blah blah. Like it's a lot more modernized, and I like that. They're not saying bro what's up dude, but like the whole concept of having like pretty much another language of terms that you need to learn. It like now that being said, when they talk about places, I have no idea what the fuck they're talking about. Like I use like I'm sitting here like when they talk about like Nilfgaard and like all that stuff, I'm like, where is that? Whose side is on, who's on what side goes over my head. And especially when they introduce the elves this season, and they introduce like they're the native people of the land, so they have native words for these places. Like Sintra is called like Zentera or like something like that, and I'm just like, so sometimes when they say those things, it takes me a while to be like, oh wait, they're talking about the same place, because two people, like a human and an elf, can be talking and they'll be talking about the same place, but because the elves have a native language or like a native way of saying that, like land, I'm like, are they talking about two different places? Look, that's a me problem though. That's a me problem. That's not the show's problem. That's gonna be me no matter what high fantasy thing I go into. That's literally gonna be me. I found it more palatable than Lord of the Rings or The Hobbit or fucking Game of Thrones. Like I watched all Hobbit movies in like one day because the last one was coming up. When the last Hobbit movie came out, I was gonna go see it the next day with a friend, and I had never seen The Lord of the Rings or The Hobbit before, so I was like, oh, I'll just binge watch all of them. And I did. And I don't remember a thing. I don't remember characters, places. The only thing I remember is from the last movie. I remember that the hobbits, I guess that's what they're called, right? When they were going into the mountain to go fight the dragon, they all got like gold sickness, or it was a term, but like they all got gold sickness. They were all like clouded by like greed for gold or whatever. And then I remember the dragon, and then I remember Ed Sheeran's song. That's it. So high fantasy is not usually for me. So The Witcher, I believe, made it super, super palatable. I think the magic is super palatable. I think mixing the magic with science was also really like, that's a big brain move. Mixing the magic with science I thought was really cool, especially having that distinction between magic and science, like, and having them interconnect, because I think that is also cool in like fantasy worlds and stuff like that, being like, oh, magic and science are things that can coexist together. I really liked that. Costume designs, oh my god, the costumes, I'm making sure I'm recording. The costumes, I've been getting into costume design, not like I want to make costumes, but I've been like analyzing costume design, because, you know, when you analyze a show, you gotta analyze everything. Like Geralt and his little sash thing that he had because he hurt his leg at the end of the first season, and he had it at the beginning of the second season, and that like represents his relationship with Ciri. And like when that comes off and he replaces it with armor, he no longer sees Ciri as a crutch. You see how I'm analyzing shit? He no longer sees Ciri as a crutch. So he no longer has that bloody sash that he's limping around with. It's amazing. It's amazing. Like they probably are like, girl, no, we just wanted to show that time has passed, which we'll get to. But I really, the costumes are so good. They're so pretty. Everything Ciri wore in this fucking season was so fucking pretty. I loved it so much. And of course, Henry Cavill's makeup. Every time I saw Henry Cavill, bro, every time he came onto the screen, Jasker's red leather fucking jacket, and then literally every single thing that Yennefer wore. Oh my god, I just, and it's so representative of their like personalities as well. Like with Ciri, like when she wears, like, even when she's wearing like her training armor and stuff like that, it's still very cute and very like young, like she's learning and stuff, and it's representative of her personality. Like she's willing to learn, she's really like, yeah, like go get them. And then when she's wearing like obviously her more prettier dresses and stuff like that, like she's still obviously a princess, like, and she can't shake that, right? And I think that's a good thing, because she has both the regency and the knowledge and the like the pure heartedness, I guess you could say, of like a princess, while like still obviously like wanting to defend both herself, her family, the people she loves, her new family found family, and her home. She wants to go back and obviously take back her home. The Witcher, he wears the same shit over and over again. He's men. Jasker's outfit, like his like red leather, it like really represents him as like, oh, I got my heart broken, so I'm gonna like fortify myself and whatever, and like I'm gonna prove that I'm better off without Yennefer or a fucking Geralt. I'm gonna prove that I'm better off without them, whatever. But like when you look closely at his outfit, like it's still very kooky, it's still very like artistic and whatever, and his loot. His loot looks so fucking pretty. The one that got smashed, I was so mad. I was like, why is that loot smashed? It was so pretty just to get fucking smashed. Did she need to get smashed? We couldn't have just left it there on the ground for Yennefer to find. It had to be smashed, but whatever. And then of course what Yennefer is wearing, always a bad bitch. Obviously the black, when she was wearing black because she was in mourning of herself and of her powers, but it still was elegant and beautiful because she still is that bitch. Which also, can we talk about the fact that Yennefer cannot catch a break. My girl cannot catch a break. And then we always wonder why we put her in these compromising positions for her to make bad decisions. And we're all like surprised when she makes a bad decision or when she almost makes a bad decision. And we're like, what do you expect from her? You pushed her into a corner. Life literally keeps pushing her into corners. And she is tired of being pushed into corners. And so she's like, I'm done. I'm done being pushed into corners. I'm gonna fucking do what the fuck I need to do. My girl. Did I agree with her? No, I was sad the entire time when she was with Ciri. I was like, girl, please stop. Please stop. But now she's her mentor, which is like, yes! I was waiting for that. Oh, I love it so much. But yeah, Yennefer's story arc is one of my favorites. Like, this girl has had to fight tooth and motherfucking nail for her fucking magic just for y'all to take it away from her. She had to fight tooth and nail for that shit. To get it ripped from her. And for her to not get her dues that she is owed. Everyone in the Brotherhood could choke. Frigilla, I'm tired of her. We need politics and blah, 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 blah. Like, only at the end do you actually care about any... She can choke. I don't say that about many of the women in the show, because many of the women in the show, the way they wrote the women in the show, every single woman, even the fucking random ass women you see on the street are written so well. They're written so fucking well. Even the first girl in the first episode, like, who was, like, ended up being the monster or, like, whatever, but she wasn't the true monster. Oh, this is so good. The women are written so well in this show, and I know that's something, like, I think in Game of Thrones, like, was praised for. I think they were praised for that. I don't know, I didn't follow Game of Thrones, but, like, yeah. Yeah. The misogyny is still there, surprisingly. I mean, obviously, not like misogyny as in, like, the people written in the show misogynistic, but, like, obviously people are like, oh, you can't do this because you're a girl or whatever, blah blah blah. It's like, but the women in the show prove themselves time and time again. But like, my old girl, whose name I forgot. Why did I forget her name? I'm sorry, I really only remember the main 4 characters' names. They're really all who I care about. But speaking of the story, I really, really loved that the first season, there was an overarching, like, plot, but it was mostly, like, war and politics. That was, like, the overarching, like, plot, is the upcoming war. This season, I like that it was more, I mean, there's upcoming war in this season too, but to me, I didn't really care about that because I don't care about the Brotherhood and the fucking I care about the elves and what they're doing, especially with old girl and, like, you know, her baby. She deserved to keep that baby. I don't know why they killed that baby. I know it was to incite a war, but, like, why? They did not. She did not fucking deserve that. And now she's gonna go kill every baby. It's fucking crazy. And now she's starting wars. It's insane. But I liked that the overarching villain was an actual, like, monster. Like, it was the witch. Like, she was the overarching villain. She was the catalyst for everything. Like, obviously that she's going to cause a war and stuff like that, but I like that the overarching villain, we stuck to, like, kind of like the monster aspect of it all. Like, there are, like, real monsters, like, of course, because a lot of these stories try to be like, oh, well, the real monster is people and blah blah blah. It's like, okay, cool, that's fine. Like, I get that, and that's always really interesting to look at, but, like, I like when the overarching shit is, like, actual monster, and the witch was the actual monster. I love when the actual monster as well is like the whole part of like that witch being like revenge against the witchers, and they use I keep wanting to say Cersei. I'm sorry, Ciri. They keep using Ciri, and I loved that so much. Her powers, the mystery of it all, like I love that shit. I love that world building shit with the planes and stuff like that. It was almost hard to follow, almost, but I was like, okay, different universes, because they say realms instead of worlds, and I just had to think of it in my head as worlds, different worlds converging into one, the great convergence. Okay, when old boy the historian dude was talking about the planes and the conduits and blah blah blah, I'm like, please someone please simplify this, and they were just like, she can bring monsters from other worlds to here and is probably going to cause a convergence again. I was like, all right, okay, somehow that was explained visually. I'm glad, because when there was like conduits and blah blah blah, I was like, that don't make not lick a sense to me. You're starting to do this. Also, like, it just was really great to look at. Like, when I was watching this, every episode I was like, damn, is this how Game of Thrones people feel? Every Sunday, this is how Game of Thrones people were feeling for years about the budget and the, like, just the beauty of it all, like the way the landscapes looked, the actual editing and stuff. The editing was, oh my god, like the actual camera editing and the camera angles and shit. Like, I'm not a film buff. I don't know anything about directing and anything like that. It was great to look at. It was amazing to fucking look at. And I was like, is this what Game of Thrones people were doing every fucking Sunday, bro? Every episode got a goddamn blockbuster movie budget. Like, I understand what I was missing now. I'm still not gonna go back and watch Game of Thrones. I'm not. But I understand now. Like, I get it. I get the hype now. Like, I really do. Speaking of also, like, camera and just, like, the producing of this, the acting. Siri, like, the maid four, their chemistry, it's so good. I hope they're actually friends. I always feel really sad when, like, actors have really good chemistry with their characters and then they actually hate each other in real life. So I hope they're all good friends. I hope Henry Cavill and whoever plays everybody else, I only know Henry Cavill's name, but like, I hope they're all good friends, because that would make me sad if they're not. My one gripe about like the story so far is at the fucking end when Yennefer was like, oh sorry, I fucked up, and they were like, well, it's gonna take a long time to forgive you, but the three of us are together now and the three of us can work through it. I really stared at that I stared at that TV. I'm like, so we're just gonna forget Jasker? Like, I feel like we could have given him a little bit more this season. Like, that is really, like, my one gripe, is that, like, Jasker really could have gotten more this season, and he did not. You know, he had his little time with Yennefer. I thought that was really cool. But then they just left him. But then Geralt went to go get him, which was great, and they had their conversation, and he apologized, and that was great. But then plot-wise, like, he almost had something, and then y'all made him trip and fall. I know he's gonna be in the next season because he's a fan favorite. There's no way he's not gonna be in the next season, but, like, we could have given him more. I'm just saying, we could have given him more. Alright, so those are all my, like, pros, I guess, of the season. I only have, like, 2 cons on here. No, I have 3. I have 3 cons. The first one is the timeline. So this is something that actually they got better with from season 1, because season 1 it was very confusing the way that they were shooting it. It was like the way it was edited, we had to, like, there was no explanation of when they were going back and forth through time, like when was the present and when was the past. That's something that, like, I think a lot of people, because I was looking at other reviews for this season as well, because I was trying to find the budget. I never found the budget because Netflix doesn't want you to know how much money they spend on shit. But a lot of people were like, that's something in the new season that kind of got fixed, was the timeline was a little bit easier to follow. Still, I still have a little bit of an issue with it. A month passed when Yennefer, after the whole, I think the first or second episode or whatever, and Yennefer finally came back to the Brotherhood, and Geralt and Ciri were at the Witcher compound, whatever the fuck it's called. And Yennefer is like talking to Fragilla, and it's just like, oh yeah, blah blah blah, my magic is gone, blah blah blah, and she's like, she's having her moment with that. It's been a month. It's been a month. She screams like, I've been doing this for a month, blah blah blah, and I'm like, it's been a month? Like, that no one explains, like, there is no, literally, there's nothing to tell you that it's been a month. Like, Geralt and Ciri they have changed clothes, but, like, there's nothing to tell you that it's been a month other than the fact that Yennefer says it's been a month. And, like, because the whole thing with, Eskel's body, and being like, oh, we need to lay him to rest, it's time to lay him to rest, and I was like, okay, like, yeah, I guess, it's been a couple of days, you're just picking at his body. No, it's been a month. Like, we are led to believe that whatever old man's name is, was picking at this dude's body for a month. That is not explained. It's not explained. And the timeline of events here, like, obviously from like an actual like story standpoint, like, it makes sense that these things are spread out. We don't live in a modern world. This is not a modern world, so things aren't happening like day after day after day. Like, this is probably over the span of like a year, especially with old girl who's having a baby. Obviously, if we were led to believe that it's 9 months, right? She's having this baby for 9 months, and then the baby comes. But, like, that's the only frame of reference of time we really get within, like, this world, and I don't like it. Like, I really don't like it. Like, I know it's gonna take you out of the immersion if you say at the bottom, like, oh, 1 month later or whatever, but I feel like more people need to give me better distinctions of time. Like, no one's growing a beard. No one's looking like, oh my god, I've been stuck in this place for like so long. Like, no one says that. No one says anything. Like, we're just led to believe. And it's really hard to believe because sometimes they wear the same clothes. So it's like they've been wearing the same clothes for a month. It's Yennefer, obviously, because she's been traveling. But like some of this other shit, it's just, that's like my biggest gripe about this season, or just the show in general. The timeline is just so weirdly off. The next thing I have is the pacing. Because the timeline is off, the pacing can get really weird, and that means that there was only one episode that I felt like really, really lulled, which is my third thing that I had. Like, for the most part, I feel like it captured my attention for the entire 8 episodes. That's 8 hours, because each episode is about 50 minutes or so. So for roughly 8 hours, every episode captured my attention, except for, I think, episode 5 or 6, like smack in the middle of the season, which is usually what happens, just because it was dealing with other people other than the main 4. I don't care about the Brotherhood. I don't care about, like, the politics going on in Nilfgaard. Like, I don't get back to the main 4. That was it. In terms of, like, stuff I didn't like, it's just that one episode lulled. I didn't really care. But when we started talking about the witch, I was really interested again. Like, the witch was the most interesting, like, thing in terms of an antagonist. Other than that, the other antagonists, the men, all the men in the show, aside from Geralt and Jaskier, suck. They absolutely fucking suck. Which is like, well, surprise, surprise. Every other man in this show, aside from Jaskier and fucking Geralt, suck. They're all trash, and I mean suck as in, like, their characters. I hate them. Like, I hate them. I just hate them so much. That's why the witch was able to take over her so easily. You know why? Because she would have snapped anyway, but she wouldn't have had the conviction to do what she needed to do. I'm glad she murdered all those fucking people. She should have kept going. Oh, she did not pull your fucking country from the brink of fucking collapse for you to sit there and be all like, yeah, sure, she thinks she's the boss. Is she really doing this for the white flame? Blah, blah, blah. And what if I'm not? And what if I'm fucking not? Like, do I fucking... Ooh, she should have kept going. When she killed everybody in that room, she should have kept going. Ooh. But then she made the mistake of trusting a man and taking responsibility for killing that baby like a fucking dumbass. I knew that shit was gonna happen. At the end, when they took responsibility for killing that baby and they didn't actually kill it, whoa. Anyway, the women in the show are amazing. That's my closing statement. Really quickly, I wanted to talk about my content. It's not anything bad. It's just wanted to say, like, I think I finally figured out how I want to structure my content going forward. I think I'm gonna try and do more of a serious commentary video. I say serious in quotes, more like an analysis type of content video. That'll be done on the first Friday of every month. So I'm trying to upload every Friday. So the first Friday of every month, I'm going to try to do, or a Friday. I say the first Friday, it's going to be a Friday. Once a Friday a month, I'm going to upload a analysis video, a commentary video, kind of like the one I did with Knuckles this semester, still in school. This month I did with Knuckles, and the rest of the videos are just going to be more chill, funny, kind of like sit down videos like these, or, well, I mean, they're all sit down videos, or vlogs if I ever get to go out again. Or other videos I want to do, like makeup videos or cooking videos or something, whatever. And then at the end of the month, like the last Friday of the month or just the last day of the month, I think I kind of want to do a roundup type of video of like everything I've been watching, pop culture, stuff like that, because there are some stuff that I want to like talk about but don't all fit into one video. Like I want to watch Hawkeye, but like I don't care enough about Hawkeye to make it its own video. I'm gonna watch The Mandalorian, but The Mandalorian is still coming out week by week, so you know it's not gonna be done for me to make a full video about it, and I'm not gonna do a video every episode. I've been watching JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. You see the point. You see the point. So that's what I'm gonna do. So one like really well edited quote unquote video a month, and then the rest of the videos are just going to be like chiller, more off the cuff type of videos, not super scripted or anything. So I hope that makes sense, and I hope you enjoy that content. Let me know. I'm always open and down for content. Like I have so many ideas that I have none, if that makes sense. Like I have an iPad full of ideas, but like sometimes it's hard for me to like say like would people actually want to see this or not. So that's why I always say comment, like let me know what you want to see, like because it probably matches one of the video ideas I have on my iPad. I just don't know if like people would actually want to see it or not. So thank you so much for watching. If you liked, hit that like. Thank you so much for subscribing and being here, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.